the 19th of April, 2026, Sunday morning. We're in Commons Buddhist Text, Guidance and Insight from the Buddha, Chapter 4. We're going to pick up, this Chapter 4 is on society and human relationship. We're picking up from yesterday, the power of patience and non-anger, Theravada tradition, the southern form of Buddhism. The first passage also sets in a conflict situation, arises calm and patience in the face of angry provocation. This is not weakness, but real strength, a benefit to oneself and those one's is in conflict with. The second passage succinctly expresses the power of this kind of response. In that war, the gods won and the demigods were defeated. Then the gods of the 33, binding BUDDHIST, the king of the demigods in the 5 palaces of the body, with his neck as the 5th, brought him to Sudhamma assembly, to Sakha, the king of the gods. Noteworthy, Sakha is Indriya or Indra, and the chief of the gods. Sakha is another name for Indra. There, BUDDHIST, the king of the demigods, when Sakha, the king of the gods, Indra, was entering and exiting Sudhamma assembly. Indra resides in the east, on the sunrise. It's good and noteworthy. Was abusing and insulting him with foul and harshing words. Bhikkhu monks. Then Matali, the charioteer, questioned Sakha, Indra, the king of the gods, thus in the verse. Is it out of fear or out of weakness that Sakha, Indra, endures harsh words in the face of BUDDHIST? Indra Sakha replies, it is neither due to fear nor due to weakness that I am patient with BUDDHIST. How could a wise person like me engage with a fool? Matali replies, fools get increasingly aggressive when there is none to put a stop to this. Therefore, let the wise person resist the fool with exceedingly effective punishment. Sakha, Indra, replies, I consider this itself a resistance against the fools. That is, having known that the other person is angered, one mindfully keeps one's calm. Matali replies, Vasava, I see a fault in this very act of patience. When the fool imagines, through fear of me he is patient, the stupid one becomes more aggressive, like the bull that chases the person who flees. Sakha, Indra replies, let him imagine or not. It is through the fear of me that he is patient. There exists no greater gain than patience, that is, in highest benefit to oneself. He who, being strong, really is patient towards the weak. The patient is called the supreme, for the weak person is always patient. They call the power no power at all, the power that is the power of a fool. There is no one to resist the power of him who is guarded by the Dhamma. It is really worse for him who responds in anger to one who is angered. One who does not show anger towards the anger wins the battle that is difficult to win. He who, having known that the other person has been angered, mindfully keeps his calm, conducts himself with the well-being of both himself and the other. The person who heals both himself and the other Those people who think him a fool are not proficient in the Dhamma. This can be cited in the Vipassiti Sutra from the Samyutta Nikaya. Now, this verse comes from the Dhammapada, verse 223. Conquer the angry by non-anger. Conquer the bad by goodness. Conquer the miser by generosity, and the liar by truth. Speak truth to power. The Dhammapada 2:23. Speak truth to power. Wealth and economic activity. Craving for the riches brings ruin. This is from the Dhammapada, verse 355. Riches destroy the foolish, but not those seeking the beyond. By craving for riches, the fool destroys themselves as he would others. This verse, do not blind in one eye, is from the Anta Sutta from the Anguttara Nikaya. This passage sees the best and the happiness kinds of lay person as one with an eye to both profit and ethics. Bhikkhu monks. There are these three kinds of persons found in existence in the world. What three? The blind, the one-eyed, and the two-eyed. What bhikkhu monks is the blind person? Here a certain person lacks the kind of eye which to acquire wealth, not yet acquired, and increase already acquired wealth. He also lacks the kind of eye that which to know wholesome and unwholesome qualities, blameworthy and blameless qualities, inferior and superior qualities, dark and bright qualities, and their counterparts. This is called the blind person. What bhikkhu monks is the one-eyed person? Here a certain person has the kind of eye which to acquire wealth, but he lacks the kind of eye that which to know the wholesome and unwholesome qualities. What bhikkhu monks is the two-eyed person? Here a certain person has the kind of eye which to acquire wealth. He also has the kind of eye which to know wholesome and unwholesome qualities. The two-eyed is declared the best of persons. His wealth is acquired by his own exertion, with goods that are righteously gained. Again, from the Anta Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya. This is a footnote from my personal interpretations. The left eye is considered the ninth, the eye of the moon, or of wealth, materiality, material things. The right eye is the sun, spirituality, higher, both forms. Left eye, feminine. Right eye, masculine. The sun and the moon. So forth. Personal interpretations. Next is, this passage explains what kind of behavior brings happiness in the next life for the ordinary lay people involving in life's pleasures. A happy life comes from the industriousness, appropriate guarding of possessions, friendships with the good, and wise use of money. This is from the Apagapacha Sutta, Anguttara Nikaya. These four things are conducive to the well-being and happiness of a child of good family in this immediate life. What for? Achievement by industry, achievement by protection, friendship with the good, and a balanced life. What is the achievement by industry? Here, by whatever occupation a child of a good family makes a livelihood, whether farming, trading, cattle rearing, archery, royal service, or any other profession. He becomes skilled, not lethargic, is possessed with proper judgment and understanding of means regarding what needs to be done and what needs to be organized. This is the achievement by industry. What is the achievement by protection? Here, whatever wealth there is to the child of good family achieved through industrious effort, righteously earned through his own labor, the sweat of his brow. He arranges for its words and protection, thinking, my wealth should not be carried away by the king, by robbers. It should not be burned by the fire, carried away by floodwaters or unloved inheritors. This is the achievement by protection. What is friendship with the good? In whatever village or hamlet, the child of a good family, there may be householders or children of householders. Those young people developed in ethical discipline, those endowed with faith, endowed with ethical discipline, generosity, and wisdom. He stays with them, talks with them, discusses with them. He trains himself in accordance with the achievement and faith of those endowed with faith, the achievement of ethical discipline of those endowed with ethical discipline, the achievement in generosity of those endowed with generosity, the achievement in wisdom of those endowed with wisdom. This is friendship with the good. Kalalamitra. What is a balanced living? The child of a good family, having known his income and expenditure, lives neither in the extravagant manner nor in a miserly manner, but adopts a balanced lifestyle, considering, so shall my income exceed my expenditure, and my expenditure not exceed my income. Like one holding the balance, or one who is the apprentice of one holding the balance, would know. This side is more by this much, this side is less by this much. In the same way, the child of a good family, having known his income and expenditure, lives neither in extravagant manner nor a miserly manner, but adopts a balanced style of living. When the child of a good family, having known his income and expenditure, adopts a balanced style of living, is called a balanced living. To wealth thus arisen, there are 4 sources of loss. There are addiction to women, intoxicants, gambling, and having evil friends, associates, and intimates. Just as to the great reservoir, there are 4 inlets, the 4 outlets. And the man closes up the inlets and opens the outlets. Rain, too, does not fall abundantly. If this happens, wasting away could be expected to the reservoir, not growth. In the same manner, to arise wealth, there are 4 sources of loss. To wealth thus arisen, there are 4 sources of gain. Non-addiction to women, non-addiction to intoxicants, non-addiction to gambling, and having friends, associates, intimates who are good. To a great reservoir, there are 4 inlets and 4 outlets. A man opens the inlets and closes up the outlets. Rain too falls abundantly. If this happens, growth could be expected to be the reservoir, not wasting away. In the same manner, to arisen wealth, there are 4 sources of gain. Those 4 things are conducive to the well-being and happiness of a child of a good family here and now. These 4 things are conducive to the well-being and happiness of the child of a good family hereafter. What 4? Achievement in faith, in ethical discipline, in generosity, and in wisdom. What is the achievement in faith? Here the child of a good family have a faith in the awakening of the Tathagata, the Blessed One, the Arihat, perfectly enlightened Buddha. What is the achievement in ethical discipline? Here the good child of a family abstains from destroying life, from taking drinks that lead to intoxication and heedless behavior. This is the achievement in ethical discipline. What is the achievement in generosity? The child of a good family lives in the household with a mind free from the stain of misery, extending generosity, delighting in relinquishment with pure hands, ready to give, ready to comply with the requests of the needy, and delighting in sharing through liberality. This is the achievement in generosity. What is the achievement in wisdom? Here, a child of a good family is endowed with wisdom, with the noble and penetrative insight into arising and passing away of rightly leads to the destruction of dukkha, suffering. This is the achievement in wisdom. Again, this is cited by the Agapaja Sutra, Anguttara Nikaya. How to live ethically and not waste one's resources. This passage sees an ethical life, avoidance of negative and mental states, avoidance of such things as idleness and drunkenness, as aid to happiness in this life and the next life. This passage sees an ethical life in avoidance of negative mental states and avoidance of such things as idleness and drunkenness. It is from the Sigalovata Sutra, Dika Nikaya. To the extent of the young householder, that the four defilements of action are abandoned by discipline of the noble ones, that the person commits no evil action in 4 ways. What does not associate with the 6 sources of loss of love? They, moving away from the 14 evil things, cover the 6 quarters, and enter the path leading to victory in both the worlds. They have succeeded in this world and the world beyond. Upon the dissolution of the body after death, they are born in a happy heavenly world. What are the 4 defilements of actions that have been abandoned? The destruction of life, householder, is the defilement of action, so are taken what is not given. Wrongful conduct in the enjoyment of sensual pleasures, and lying. These are the 4 vices that have been abandoned. In which 4 ways does a person commit no evil action? Committing an evil action through favor, through hatred, through delusion, or through fear. What are the 6 channels of loss of wealth not to be associated with? Indulging in substances that cause intoxication and heedlessness. Slaughtering in the streets as unseemly hours. Frequenting parties. Indulgence in gambling that causes heedlessness. Association with evil friends. Giving oneself to idleness. Being generous and respectful brings a happy family and social environment. This passage urges people to use their ethically generated income to support family members and to be generous to employees, neighbors, deities, priests, and renunciants. In whatever son of a good family, maha, these 5 qualities are evident. Whether it is the head anointed king of a ruling class, or a countryman inheriting parental wealth, or a general of the army, or a headman of a village, or the head of the gold, or one having authoritative control in a particular family. Growth should be expected, not decline. What 5? Here, maha, which with the righteous wealth he has earned righteously by aroused effort, Toiling with his hands, with sweat dripping, he acts hospitably towards his mother and his father, shows them honor, respects them, and makes offerings to them. The mother and the father, when treated hospitably, shown honor, respected, and provide with offerings, are compassionate towards him with good heart and wish him, may you be long lived. May you safeguard your life for a long time. Growth and not decline can be expected for the son of a good family to whom the compassion of the mother and the father has been extended. Further, maha, with the wealth he has earned ethically, he acts hospitably towards his wife and his children, his servants, workmen, shows them honor. Wife and children, when treated hospitably, are compassionate towards him. Growth and not decline can be expected for the son of a good family to whom the compassion of the wife and children has been extended. Further, maha, when the wealth he has earned ethically, he acts hospitably towards the people in the fields and workplaces in the neighborhood. The people in the fields and workplaces in the neighborhood, when treated hospitably, are compassionate towards him. Growth and not decline would be expected for the son of a good family, in whom the compassion of the people in the fields and workplaces in the neighborhood had been extended. Further, maha, when the wealth he has earned ethically, he acts hospitably towards the deities who accept offerings. The deities, when treated hospitably, are compassionate towards him. Growth and not decline could be expected for the son of a good family to whom the compassion of the deities has been extended. Further, maha, when the wealth he has earned ethically, he acts hospitably towards renunciants and Brahmins and priests. The renunciants and Brahmins and priests, when treated hospitably, are compassionate towards him. Growth and not decline could be expected for the son of a good family, to whom the compassion of the renunciant Brahmins and priests have been extended. Doing his duty towards mother and father, he's always bent on the welfare of wife and children. He is committed to the well-being of those within the household and his dependents, for the well-being of both, for the departed former relatives, as well as those living here and now. He is bountiful and virtuous. The wise person dwelling ethically in the household is the producer of wealth for the renunciants, Brahmins, priests, and the deities. He, having done good, becomes honored and praised. Here itself they praise him, and hereafter he rejoices in heaven. This can be cited here in La Chavi Kumara Sutra, Anguttara Nikaya. Praiseworthy aspects of using wealth. Rasya Sutra Samyutta Nikaya. This is for a layperson. This passage praises ethical wealth making, using wealth to make himself happy, to make others happy, which generates beneficial karma, and not being attached to wealth. Herein, headman, the one enjoying sensual pleasure who seeks wealth ethically without violence, who with the wealth makes themselves happy and pleased, who shares it and does karmically beneficial deeds with it, and who uses wealth without being tied to it, uninfatuated with it, not blindly absorbed in it, seeing the danger in it, understanding that which is the escape from it. He may be praised on these four grounds. Contentment as wealth. This is from the Dhammapada, 204. This is a short verse, implies that contentment brings a sense of being well off. Health is the highest gain. Contentment is the greatest wealth. A trustworthy friend is the best of kinsmen. Nibbana, Nirvana, Nibbita is the highest bliss. Again, for the Dhammapada, 204. We will pick up on the next one at social equality, Theravada tradition. This is common Buddhist text and guidance of insight from the Buddha. The chief editor is Dr. Maha Brahma Pandit, or Dharmakosajarn. Dr. Maha Dharmakosajarn.